Welcome everyone. My name's Jonathan. This is a 45-minute Vinyasa Bow. So a hybrid between Vinyasa Flow class, so just traditional yoga, power yoga, and then Bowspring. And sometimes it's known as bow sprinkles, where you just sprinkle Bowspring into a traditional yoga setting. And it's actually probably my all-time favorite way to practice is to have that tradition, the commonality of yoga poses, but with the, I think, intellectual side of the Bowspring alignment. So please sit up tall, reach your arms forward in front of you, and then bend your elbows, touch the tips of your fingers together for globe hands. Lift your chin, take a big breath in, and a big breath out. And just one more, full breath in, and full breath out. And then open your eyes, look forward, and make your way into all fours position. And starting right away here in all fours, just position your spine in a neutral position. So that's where you push the arms down to lift your rib cage up, but drop your belly down towards the floor as well. Push your knees out to the side, feel your glutes get stronger, and then lean to your right. Rise onto your left fingertips and lift your left leg out to the side. Pausing to hold here, imagine that you could push your left knee forward into a resistance that then allows you to move your hips further back. You can actually manipulate that and do that yourself by putting your elbow there to push the knee forward, move the hips back. Now, final stage, should you choose, is to lift your left hand, cup the back of your head, hold steady and strong. One more breath in. And then go fingertips to hand flat and lean over to the left. Rise onto your right fingertips, lift your right leg out to the side. Pull your knee forward, move your hips back. Option again to slide the right arm back a little bit just so that you can push your knee literally into your elbow to then move your hips further back. Push the left knee out to the side. And then testing the balance, lift the right hand up, cup the back of your head, hug your elbow in. And then lower your knee, lower your hand, tuck your toes under, and send your hips up and back. So traditionally, downward facing dog is sending the hips way back, pushing the head towards the floor. When you go into traditional down dog, it is hard to go one-armed. It's not necessarily the most comfortable position. So come forward a little bit to crouching cat position, where the chin is closer toward the wrist, but you may not go all the way there. There is a in-between between crouching cat and downward facing dog. Bend your knees, tilt your sit bones up into the air, push the hands down, and then rise onto your left fingertips. Or lift your left hand, cup the back of your head, point your elbow down, push your head into your hand, lift your rib cage, breathe deeply. And then lower your left hand, lean to the left, rise onto your right fingertips. Keep tilting your sit bones up, knees bent, and then lift your right hand, cup the back of your head, hug your elbow in, breathing fully, maybe adding a little bit of a pulse, and then lower your right hand down, come forward towards plank pose position. And on this first one, just lower your knees down, take a big breath in, and then on an exhale, lower down halfway, pause and hold the position. Halfway is just to the height of your elbows with your shoulders, breathing. And then drop your hips all the way down. Inhale for a cobra position. So hips down, pushing the arms straighter, moving your shoulders back. One more breath in. And then as you exhale, push back to downward facing dog. So finding either your down dog where you send the hips way back. It is, I'd say, more of a resting position. Or you can go crouching cat, where you're a little bit more forward, and in a way it's just the essence of what you'd be in if you want to hop forward. So if you want a few hops, you can do that. And then I don't know what's another pet besides cat and dog. Iguana, somewhere in between crouching cat and downward facing dog. So it's totally up to you. On your next inhale though, lift your right leg back behind you. Exhale, knee to nose, curl in. And again, swing your right leg back. and bring your knee in. Step your foot forward. It doesn't have to be between the hands. Rise up. Place both hands to both knees. Tilt forward. Push your knees forward into your hands. Move your hips back. Embrace the natural curvature in the low back. And then float your arms up into the air. Join your hands together. Place your thumbs to the top of your head and then push your head up into your thumbs as you drop the hips both down and back, so you tilt forward a little bit. And as you create the arch in your low back with the tilt forward, push your legs slightly straighter, and especially the front leg. Feeling the stretch through the back of your thigh. Now go globe hands position, lean forward, push off of the back foot to lift it into the air, propeller position. Tilting forward, bending both knees. Think of pulling your left heel in, like you're pressing against a resistance so the back of your leg gets strong. And then option to create a little pulse of your legs. And it's taken me a long time, but I'm getting to a point where I can touch my knee down and come all the way back up. I thought it was impossible. Oh, but that's strength, progress, whatever you say. Now, pointing the left toes, bring the top of your foot down and then the top of your shin down. Reach your arms forward and wide, and then make a wide sweeping arc over to the left. Bring your left hand down, cup the back of your head, right hand. Baby mantis position, tilt your left ear to your left shoulder, lift the right side rib cage up, push the right foot forward so you move your hips back further. And then on an inhale, push off with the hand. Slowly rise up and then touch your hands down. Step back to plank position. Up to you to have your knees lifted or down. Deep breath in and then lower down halfway. Pause and hold the position. Chaturanga. So shoulders at the height of your elbows, then drop your hips, point your toes, lift up for your back bend. On an exhale, push back to your dog, cat, iguana. On an inhale, lift your left leg back behind you. Exhale, knee in. And again, left leg back. So you can step it just halfway to the hands. You don't have to step it all the way forward. And then rise up, hands to your knees. So the point where I think Bowspring is a little bit better than yoga is being in a state of readiness, being in an athletic posture, and then finding the stretch from there, as opposed to just splaying out with straight limbs. So putting your hands to your knees, push your knees forward, move your hips back. You can do mood enhancer. Take both hands, grab both cheeks, pull your butt up. Whew. And then this time make two fists. Bring them together, push your hands in so your arms get stronger, and then place your fists to the top of your head. Pull down with your hands, push up with your head, sink down lower, tilt a little forward. Keep the push of the top of your head up as you begin to press your front leg a little bit straighter. And then this time, instead of globe hands, you can do two seeds, which is just remove your hands, bring your arms lower, and kind of like you're doing a chest flex, bring your two hands together, two seeds, two just soft fists, push off your back foot, propeller position. So propeller position is just knees bent. It's more of the front view of a plane, literally the propeller. Option to create a little bit of pulse. Keep your hands pushing towards each other. I'm not so good on the left leg at getting the right knee all the way down. Still building the strength. Slowly. Now point your right toes. Bring the top of your foot down, and then slowly top of your shin down. Reach your arms forward and wide. Keep your hips back. Wide sweeping arch to the right, and then touch your right hand down. Left hand cups the back of your head. Drips of sweat are starting to pour out of me, and we are no more than 10 minutes into practice. Push the left foot forward, move your hips back, right ear to right shoulder. Deep breath in, and then push off of the hand. Slowly come up. Place your hands down, step back, plank pose, Deep breath in. And then exhale, lower down halfway or all the way. That is an option. And then lift for your back bend. And then press it back. This time, just step your right foot forward. Turn your left foot out a little bit. Rise up and go right forearm to your thigh. Left hand to your butt. You need to even give it a little smack. And then pull your left butt up. Twist from right to left. Make a fist with your left hand. Place it to the top of your head. Push your head forward into your hand. Sink the hips lower. Maybe wrap the right butt under. Press your head forward. Sit your hips back, holding strong. And then turning this into a little bit of a balancing position. Cup the back of your head with both hands. Push off your back foot to lift it up into the air. Pull your knee forward and then step your foot back. Doing that a few more times. Push off of your back foot, pull your knee forward, and then move your foot back. Again, push, pull, and then step back. And one last time, pause, hold, stay strong, steady. And then now just square your hips, step your foot back, plant your hands, step back to plank pose. Deep breath in, lower down halfway or all the way. Lift for your back bend, BOC, back bend of choice, and then press it back, cat or dog. So down dog, crouching cat, iguana. Immediately step your left foot forward, turn the right foot out a little bit, and then rise up. Left forearm to your thigh, right hand grabs the butt, pull the butt up, try to encourage the low back to go in and up, twist from left to right, holding here. Option with your right hand to cup the back of your head, hug the elbow in, and then move the core of the body from left to right. So your torso, it's great that arms can go up, but more importantly is the central channel of your body twisting, holding strong, sinking down lower. Now, cup the back of your head. Both, keep the hips moving back. Push off of your back foot, pull your knee forward, and then slowly step your foot back. Again, push off, pull your knee forward, and then go back. A few more times, embracing the challenge in the waver. Holding steady, moving mindfully. One last time, pause to hold, and then step the foot back, plant your hands, and step back to plank pose. Deep breath in, lower down halfway or all the way. Inhale for your back bend, and then push it back. Deep breath in, and deep breath out. Adding a little bit more to this. Inhale, lift your right leg back behind you. Just a taste test to start. Pull your right knee to your upper right arm. Pause and hold. And then swing your leg back and step your right foot forward. Again, it doesn't have to go all the way forward. In fact, try a shorter stance to make it more Bowie. Not David, but Bowspring. And then turn your left foot out a little bit. I use a block, right hand to the outside of the foot on the floor. Left hand to the hip. Move the hips back, even left hand to the low back, and get the little arch in your low back. So you shouldn't be able to feel the stegosaurus spine of your back. It should actually be in. Now, keeping that in, push the front leg straighter. And I say straighter because that is such a huge stretch. I get more of a stretch in triangle like this than I do with legs long and legs straight. This one's pretty intense and it's also quite active. There's more strength and stretch. Who doesn't want more? More everything. Okay, going to a similar position as we just did. Push off of your back foot. This time you can use your right hand to the floor. In my case, using a prop block. Pull the left knee forward in line with your hip. You can put your left hand to the front of your thigh and then push your knee into your hand, bend your standing leg, move the outer right thigh back, push the left knee into your hand, move the hips back. Now maintain that strength and then extend your leg back behind you. Reach the left hand up into the air, and then finally go with the straighter standing leg as well. More of a traditional half moon position. Okay, one more breath. Then turn to the floor. Bring your hands down, step your left foot back, and swing your right leg into the air. So as a taste test to start, pull your right knee to your upper right arm, bend your elbow, sink down lower. You can extend the right leg straighter to the side, lift your back leg up, and then move it through a flow. Jump back to Chaturanga, lift for your back bend, and then push it back. Down dog, crouching cat, or lizard. Iguana, sorry. Lift your left leg behind you, and then left knee to your upper left arm, holding, staying strong, and then lifting your leg back. Step your foot forward. Again, doesn't have to make it all the way. Misconception that you have to bring your foot all the way forward. Pausing to hold here, short stance, both knees bent, twist to the right, get the arch of your low back moving in, twisting, push your left leg straighter. So traditional triangle is arm up into the air. You could do a modified side body stretch, or what I actually like to do is put the hand on top of the head so I can push the head forward, but at the same time reach the elbow forward so you get both the length of the spine and length of the arm all at the same time. More. Ooh, I cannot get that front leg straight. That is intense. Okay, then push off of your back foot, lift it up into the air. Just showing the side view of this one. So half moon with the knee out to the side, hand to the front of the knee, and then push the knee forward and move the hips back. Staying strong, putting weight into your left hand, lifting your chin, twisting, and then once you've got the strength specifically in your glutes, extend your leg back, and option to reach your arm up into the air, pushing your standing leg straighter as well. Hard to twist while in the pose. Ooh, that was a cool video shot of it. Okay, and then turn to the floor. Touch your hands down, step your right foot back, and swing your left leg back behind you. Then bring left knee to upper left arm. Pause and hold there, or bend your elbows, get down lower, lift your back foot up, breathe deep, and then shoot it back. Chaturanga. Lift for your back bend, and then push it back to down dog or cat. This time, position yourself a little bit more cat style. Bend the knees, cat burglar hops. So hop forward and also back. And it can be just a little bit forward and a little bit back. Just trying to land light, increasing your heart rate. And if you do this hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, thousands, you eventually get pretty light and can do handstands. Eventually hop forward, bend your knees, and float your arms forward in front of you. Just a little play more on the bowspring arms. Hold opposite elbows, what are called Genie Arms. So hook your fingers around your elbows and push your elbows outward. Bend your knees, move your hips back. Deep breath in, and then keep your left hip back as you twist towards the right. And it certainly is not a deep twist. So just by keeping the knees bent in this twist, it becomes a challenging position. And you're also just twisting to the capacity of your spine to actually twist. On an inhale, come back and twist the other way. Twist from right to left. Keep your right hip back, chin lifted, full breath. Okay, and then to center, float your arms up, lift your heels to hover, turn your feet out a little bit, and then bend your knees, sit down for a squat position with the heels lifted. You're welcome to hold onto your knees, pull your knees up, look forward, chin lifted, or setting up for Bakasana, crow pose, hands down, lean forward into your hands and lift your feet up for crow. Pushing the arms straighter. Deep breath in. If you've got the energy to jump back Chaturanga, if not, just step back to plank. Going through your flow and back bend of choice. And then press it back. Okay, then just step your right foot forward. This time have your back heel lifted, be in that short lunge position, rise up, hands to both knees. I actually like to use blocks on this one. And it's just a play off pyramid pose, Parsvottanasana. So knees bent, hips back, butt up. I use weight into blocks here, pretty high blocks. Not like marijuana high, but just like height high. And then push your front leg straighter from there. Whoa. Whoa. That's intense for me. And then now keep your left hand down. It could be hand to your knee or to the floor. Right hand to the low back. Begin to twist to the right. You can bend into the front knee just to get some leverage for the twist first. And then push the right leg straighter. Option, of course, for revolved triangle is hand up into the air or hand to the top of your head. And then adding revolved half moon. So push off of the back foot, lift it up into the air, bend your knee, and then reach behind you to try to grab hold of your left foot with your right hand. Bend the standing leg, twist towards the right, kick your foot into your hand, lift your knee higher, and then from there push your standing leg straighter, lift your chin. Option to go with the left hand hover. Option to rebound 3 times where you rise up to dancers and then slowly tilt forward, hand down, and come up. Okay, and then tilt to the floor. I'm going to use the blocks for the flow this time. Step back, tricking you. There's going to be a 3 count here. So lower down, 3, 2, 1, halfway lift position or halfway, 3, 2, 1, and then lift back up, 3, 2, 1, and then lower, 3, 2, 1. Go for your back bend. And then press it back. Immediately left foot forward. I go back heel lifted. Classic yoga is longer stance, back heel down. It's just I get the front leg straight, but I sacrifice the spine, which also results in just less of a stretch. So shorter stance, knees bent, arch the low back, and then from there push the leg a little bit straighter. It's pretty quick and clear to me where Bowspring had such a more powerful effect on the body than just the traditional yoga alignment. So doing the best, I can still see myself, got the iPad watching it a little bit delayed. It's hard to get that arch in the low back. Get the arch and then push the leg straight. The sweat is real. Keep the right hand down, left hand maybe to the sacrum, top of the sacrum, moving it in and up, twisting to the left. Go arm up into the air or fist to the top of your head. I put quite a bit of weight into the block, bend into the knee, twist a little further, and then push the standing leg or front leg a little straighter. And then create a pulse. Use the pulse to push off and lift up. Bend your right knee, grab hold of your foot, twist towards the left, bend your standing leg, kick your foot back, lift your knee higher, push the standing leg a little bit straighter, and then option to hover the right hand An option to rise up momentarily and tilt all the way down, tap, and come up. It's hard for me to avoid the blocks. Tap and up. And last one, woo. And come back up and then tilt forward. Both hands down, step back, plank position, pause. The count of 3 again, lower to Chaturanga, 3, 2, 1, hold Chaturanga, 3, 2, 1, lift back up, 3, 2, 1, and then lower all the way down, 3, 2, 1, lift for your back bend, and then push it back to dog or cat. Hold that position, or the opportunity is there to hop a few times on the spot. So I usually go into a shorter stamped position and then just do a few test bounces first before I might go to try to hover and hold. And sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. There we go, fighting. Okay, eventually hop forward and then just rise up to recovery position, which is just chair pose, but your hands to your knees. And then tilt forward, put your hands to your knees, get the little arch in your low back and place your hands to the outside of your knees. Push the hands towards each other, but resist back with the knees themselves so your glutes get stronger. And then from there, tilting almost to a halfway lift position, maintain the arch in your low back, continue to push your knees out into the resistance of your hands and press your legs straighter from there. And that's where I feel more of a stretch to the hamstrings, by having the little arch in the low back versus being in this position where I don't really get much of anything around the back and hyperextended legs. So knees bent, arched low back, strong legs, pushing the legs straighter. On your next inhale, slowly rise up and then balance on your right foot. Lift your left foot for tree pose. You're welcome to go inner shin, inner ankle. If you have capacity to do a half lotus, you can do that as well. I'm just going to go a little bit more in the middle ground. Move the left knee a little forward so you can actually rotate your right inner thigh back. And then bring your hands low for globe hands. A lot of yoga poses have the arms in the overhead plane. So think of child's pose or down dog, or just a lot of standing poses. Tree being one of those. That can end up leading to really tight shoulders, tight traps. So having the hands lower imbalances can provide a nice little relief, reprieve. Okay, and then lower your foot down and switch to the other side. Lean to your left, lift your right foot. You can see how far you can get the foot without support. I just can't quite get it as high. So when I literally grab hold of the ankle, pull the foot up to the upper inner thigh, and then go. Tips of the fingers together. Push the fingers into each other. Get your arms strong, lift your chin. Imagine actually pulling the hands down on a shelf to get a lift up. You should actually start bringing a shelf into practice. Holding strong. Also going to wear a headband next time to keep the sweat out of the eyes. Okay, and then slowly lower the foot down. This one will go in stages. So just lean to your right, lift your left foot a little bit behind you, and place your left hand to the front of your knee. And push your knee forward into a straight left arm. So as you push the knee forward, move the hips back so it helps to arch your low back. That's stage one. Just change the angle. And then stage two is open the leg out to the side, what we did early on, the very beginning, all fours, pushing the left knee forward, moving your hips back. Next stage is hold under your thigh and then extend your legs straighter to the side. The shaking is not for dramatic purposes, it is real. And then you can counterbalance with the right arm, holding strong. Smile, cheese. Okay, and then lower your foot down, pause, even turn the other way just to see it a bit better. Awkward cheese smile face. Lean to your left foot, lift the right heel, push your foot forward to help to move your hips back, and then pull the foot back to get your legs stronger. Lift the foot, place your right hand to the front of your right knee, push your knee forward, move your hips back. I have a photo from grade 8 in the school photos with the awkward cheese smile. It was for retakes. My first one, I just looked really angry, so I went in for retakes. Pushing the knee forward, move your hips back, start to open your leg out to the side. And the photographer was like, "Oh, John Boyd, you look like a boy, not a girl. Are you a girl or a boy?" And I was just like, what? Just take a photo. And that was the result. Grade 8 photo. Option to hold the underside of your thigh. Extend your leg straighter. Here it is. Reach the left arm out to counterbalance. Hold strong, just as challenging with the right leg as the left leg. Hallelujah. Lower your foot down. Reach both arms way up into the air, full stretch. Straighten your legs. And then swan dive. Tilt forward, touch the hands down. Halfway lift, lengthen your spine, and then plant your hands. Step back to plank pose. Increasing to a count of 5. You're welcome to do this with the knees down, or you're welcome to just not do it at all. So lowering to Chaturanga, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And push back. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Just changing things up a little bit. Instead of pigeon, slide your right shin forward, and then bowspring, it's called Falcon Pose. So I'm set up as pigeon right now, and all Falcon is pulling the back knee forward to the front ankle. So you're in more of the figure 4 shape position. And then from there, I actually like to use the blocks to lower down onto the elbows, just to stay a bit more upright, emphasizing a little roundedness in your upper back and then a little arch in the low back. Push the left knee forward into the resistance of the right ankle and press both knees out to the sides. Use your elbows pushing down. You pull back with your elbows to try to lengthen the rib cage forward. Embrace the stretch. Option to stay here, or of course if you're in pigeon, to just stay there and relax. Or you can come up and keep just your left hand down, lift your left foot, grab hold of it with the right hand, and add a little bit of a thigh stretch as you twist towards the right. Okay, and then release the foot, slowly lower it down. With your hands, step back to plank pose. Breath in, and then lower down. Pause and hold. Lift for your back bend, and then push it back. Pigeon, left shin goes forward, so knee towards the left side of the mat. More of a classical pigeon, again, almost taking a much longer stance. I even would slide the back foot further back. But Falcon is actually coming in closer, going ankle to knee, and you might even stay upright, push the hands forward to move the hips further back. Keep the hips further back, and then slowly lower down. Pushing the knees out to the sides. Try to get a little arch in your low back. Option to stay here or Come up, keep your right hand down, lift your right foot, reach behind you with your left hand to grab hold of the foot, pulling the heel in, kick your foot back, twist from right to left. Okay, then gently release your foot, lower it down, step back to plank position. Pause at the top, deep breath in, and then lower down halfway. Lift for your back bend, and then push it back. Side chair, so join your feet together, and then drop your heels towards the right, and bend the knees enough that you might be able to get the right foot flat to the floor here. It's just like side plank, but with the knees bent. And then lift the left hand, fist to the top of the head. Option to lift the left leg up into the air as you tilt right ear to right shoulder, lifting the leg high. And then using this as transition, just lower your left hand down and the left foot down. Slowly lower your right hip down. Reach the right arm long, lie onto your side. Rest your head to your upper arm. Keep the underside of your ribs and waist lifted, and then lift the left leg, hold the back of the thigh, move the hips back, open the knee up, and then extend the leg straighter. Again, that shake is real. Whew. Okay, then bend your knee, lower your left hand down, push your way back up. Join your feet together, turn both feet to the right this time, bending your knees, getting the knees bent enough that the left foot is flat. Lift the right arm up. You can place the fist to the top of the head, tilt left ear to left shoulder, push down with the left foot. Option to lift the right leg up into the air, holding strong, breathing deep in the side chair variation. Okay, and then hand down and foot down, slowly lower down onto your hip. And then slide the left arm long, lie onto your side body again. Push your head into your arm. You might be able to see my fingers creep underneath me there. If you want to make it more difficult, keep the side waist, side ribs lifted. Lift the right leg. Push the knee forward, move your hips back. Hold under your thigh and then extend your legs straighter. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, this time just roll over onto your back. You might have to wiggle your way to center again. And then with your arms alongside you, push with your feet, lift your hips up. You might prefer to be in robot arms for bridge and lift the hips up high, or you could clasp the hands behind your back. Get the hips up high, lift your chin out of your chest, full breath in, and then low. All the way down. Okay, round 2, go for bridge pose again, or you can go for Urdhva Dhanurasana, upward bow. So push with the hands a little bit more yogi-y style. Rise to the top of the head. Walk the hands and maybe the head in a bit. I like to lift the heels. And then from there, lift up. Ooh. And then slowly come down, whether you're in bridge or wheel. Keep your left foot flat so your low back is lifted. I can put my whole arm under the low back, and then lift your right foot. Hold the back of your thigh and extend your leg straighter above you. Okay, and then lower your foot and switch the other side. Hold the back of your left and extend your leg up. Okay, then bring both arms out to a capital T position. Lower your feet, but widen them so they're the width of your mat, and drop both knees towards the right. If you would like to put your right foot to the outside of your left thigh, you're welcome to. That actually just kind of bugs my knees. Not quite flexible enough in the hips. So find a position that's more nurturing and recharging. Okay, then lift the knees up, shift the hips a little bit to the right, drop your knees over to the left, look over your right shoulder. Option again to put the left foot to the outside of the thigh. Okay, and then slowly come up, pull both knees in, and cup your kneecaps with the palms of your hands, and then position your knees right over your hips. And push the knees up into the hands so the back of your pelvis gets heavier. Put your head down, maybe even lift your rib cage and your low back momentarily, so it's just on the back of the pelvis, back of the head. Then lower the rib cage, hold the back of your legs, open your knees wider, just a happy baby variation, and then push your legs straighter. And doing the best to keep the low back slightly lifted. And it would be a great form for me with the low back if I could also hold the big toes here, but if I pull the feet in, I start to press the low back down. Okay, and then one more time, bring the knees in. Lift your forehead, hug yourself in, make yourself small, deep breath in. And as you exhale, make yourself large. Take up space to relax for a couple of minutes. 45 minutes can be pretty intense. And slow down your breath and soften your skin. And big breath in. And big breath out. Just slowly start to move your body in any way that feels natural and organic. And bend your knees and roll over to either side, just to slowly make your way up to a tall seated position to close practice. If you have the support of a block, you can get yourself up a bit higher, pull the butt flesh back and up so it's a little easier to maintain a neutral spine. Float your arms, lift your chin, touch the tips of your fingers together. Deep breath in, and deep breath out. Namaste.